Hey everybody, it's Josh Alexander from The Brokerage and your host of Orange County Housing Market News, your one-stop shop for all things Orange County real estate. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking specifically to buyers that are currently in the market or buyers that are thinking of entering the market relatively soon. We're going to do some therapy together and we're going to go through and basically do some reality checks as well so you know exactly what to expect when you enter this crazy market that we're seeing to begin the year. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, buyers, so before we start today, I want to go ahead and collectively take a giant deep breath to help us really de-stress and get ready for the news that I'm about to bring you. So let's go ahead. Okay, so now that everybody's feeling great again, let's go ahead and go over what's happening in the market for buyers right now. So for buyers, we're basically getting the trifecta of bad news. So number one, we started this year with the lowest inventory ever on record in Orange County. So obviously there's just not a lot of homes for you to choose from right now. Yes, inventory has been going up week after week, but not at the pace needed to get anywhere close to satisfying the demand for the amount of buyers in the market right now. Number two, interest rates have been creeping up pretty significantly over the last 3 weeks. So we began the year at 3.22% interest rates, and now we're hovering right around 3.56. So it's a pretty significant increase, and because of that, a lot of buyers are getting into the market because they have that FOMO. They don't want to miss these low interest rates. They want to take advantage while they're still here before they go up anymore. So you're seeing a lot of buyers flood into the market because of that. And on top of it all, this year we're continuing to have the largest demographic patch in the United States. The millennials continue to purchase a lot of homes and enter the market for the first time. So we have a giant amount of buyers in the market right now, and a lot of them continuing to enter week after week, and just no homes available. So what does this mean? This is basically leading us to one of the hardest markets ever for buyers to purchase a home in right now. So just to give you a quick real life example of how crazy it is in today's market, here's a recent text message that I just got from a listing agent when I was trying to figure out what the status of my buyer's offer was. If you're listening to this on podcast, the text message basically says that there were 80 offers on this single home. 80 offers. That's completely unheard of. It's an insane market. I've never seen it this hot before and this hard for buyers to get into a home. So that kind of brings me to the point that I want to make about this episode, and that is setting your expectations as a buyer. One of the biggest issues that myself, as well as everyone that I know in the industry right now, is having with buyers is burnout, which is rightfully so. When you're submitting offer after offer after offer after offer and it continues to get rejected, someone else comes in with $50,000 above asking price, $100,000, $300,000 above asking price, it's very discouraging as a buyer and it makes you want to give up. The biggest way to combat that to start out with is to have the right expectations. In a typical market, you'd maybe go to a lender, a week or two later, look at some homes, maybe put an offer, maybe two offers, get an offer accepted, go into escrow, and you'd have everything said and done from start to finish, maybe 2 to 3 months. That is not the case for buyers in today's market. Yes, you might be able to get lucky and have that first offer accepted. However, that's definitely not the rule. It's definitely the exception at this point. So buyers, if you're entering the market right now, or if you've been in the market for a little while, you have to have that expectation that it could take 6 months, 8 months, the entire rest of the year for you to be able to find the right property that comes up in the right neighborhood that you're able to get into escrow with and close. If you don't have those expectations set up front, there's going to be a good chance that you're going to burn out and eventually get out of the market because you just keep getting disappointed over and over again. So having those expectations will at least help soften the blow if you're not getting your first or second or fifth or 10th offer accepted in today's market. It's just super competitive and it's very hard to do for buyers right now. So let's go ahead and say that you're leasing a property right now and it's not due for a renewal for another 6 to 8 months. You're thinking about buying a home this year, but it's not really even on your radar right now because it's so far away. This is the time for you to do two things. One, you need to go through your lease contract and see how much it would cost you to break that lease if you were to leave early. So if you look for a home, you find one relatively quickly, What is that going to cost you on the back end if you had to get out of the house, let's say 3 months in advance? That way you have the full financial picture. Number two, if you're 6 to 8 months out right now, you probably should be starting to talk to a lender to try to figure out how much you qualify for and get a hold of a real estate agent, and that way you can start your property search. It sounds crazy, but in today's market, that's what it takes to be able to get into a home. You have to give yourself that much runway so you have a realistic opportunity to be able to purchase a home before that lease expires, or before you have to decide, do I want to live here for another year? Do I want to go month to month and pay a higher premium? You want to be able to give yourself enough time to be able to find a house. And in this market, you really need to start that process at least 6 months in advance. Now, on the other side, let's go ahead and say that you're living for free at your family or friend's house, or maybe you're paying them a couple $100s to rent out a room from them and nothing official. It's just kind of a month-to-month thing. And you're thinking about buying a home before the end of the year. Now might be a good time to reach out to a lender just to see what they say in terms of what you can afford, what your mortgage payments would be, and basically determine if now would actually be a better time for you to purchase than waiting. Because unfortunately, some more bad news I have for you as a buyer is appreciation is going up significantly when we're in this type of a hot seller's market. And with interest rates on the rise as well, the longer you wait at this point, the more expensive your homes are gonna be and the higher the interest rate is likely to be by the end of the year. So the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be for you to purchase a home. So if you're thinking your credit might not be good enough to be able to qualify for a home, talk to a lender and make sure that's actually the case. And if it is, the lender can give you some ideas on how to improve your credit so you can qualify for a loan. If you don't think you have enough saved up for your down payment, did you know typically you only need 3.5% down to be able to purchase a home right now? So if you have that saved up already, it might not be worth it to wait a couple extra months to save up a few grand for that down payment if you can actually afford to purchase a home right now. So it's definitely something that a lender can easily help you with. They don't charge anything, completely free, and that way at least you know your options and you know what you need to do, whether it's improving your credit score or getting more money for that down payment and closing costs. You'll now have a plan in place and know what you have to do to get to a point where you're ready to purchase a home. So talking to a lender is never a bad thing, because if you don't qualify, they'll give you a roadmap. If you do qualify, then it might be worth starting the search a little bit earlier than you were thinking, because there's a good chance it's going to take a pretty long time at this point to be able to get you into a home. So if you're thinking about buying a home this year, you really need to start taking a look at your financial situation. And if it makes sense, I would highly recommend starting earlier rather than later, so you're not setting yourself up for disappointment. So buyers, the last thing I want to talk to you about today is there might be some of you out there that say, I don't want to deal with this crazy market right now. I'm just going to wait until the spring and the summertime when more homes hit the market, so I'll have more to choose from and it'll be less crazy. Well, yes, during the spring and summertime, you'll have a lot more homes to choose from. However, the big thing you have to remember is that we started this year with the lowest inventory ever on record. So in order for us to make up enough homes to be able to make any kind of dent in inventory, the only way I can really see that happening is if interest rates continue to climb, which knocks some buyers out of the market, and that allows inventory to build up a little farther, giving you some more options to choose from. So yes, you'll have more options to choose from. However, you'll be able to afford less, or your monthly payment is going to go up significantly compared to what you can get right now. So it is something you need to keep in mind, is if you wait longer, you're going to be able to afford less. Appreciation is continuing to happen. And you also have to remember that during spring and summertime, a lot of buyers enter the market as well, because they may have kids that are in school and they don't want to look while kids are in school and they want to move during the summertime. So again, it's great that you'll have more inventory to choose from. However, will it be less competitive? Probably not. And if it is less competitive, it's really going to be a disadvantage for you, because that means interest rates went up even more significantly than they already have. So something to think about. So I know this episode was a giant bummer and it's not great news for buyers, but again, I just want to make sure that if you're entering the market, you realize what kind of market you're entering so you can have the expectations set, so that way you're able to stay in the market longer, persist, be able to find that home eventually, because once you do, you'll be glad you did. You'll be able to lock in that low interest rate and have a place to call your home. So I hope this information has been helpful. If you do find it useful, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, as well as bell button below. And if you have any family or friends looking to purchase a home, maybe share this episode with them so they can have a better idea of what to expect in the market. I would definitely appreciate that. So until next time, stay healthy, stay happy, and I'll see you on the next show. Bye.